The Georgia Guidestones were an enigmatic granite monument located in Elbert County, Georgia, that sparked widespread intrigue, debate, and mystery. Often referred to as the American Stonehenge, the monument became infamous due to the cryptic inscriptions it bore and its origins, which remained a mystery for many years. The Guidestones' controversial nature and the various theories surrounding them have only amplified the monument's mystique. Origins and construction. The Georgia Guidestones were erected in 1980, but their exact purpose and the identity of their creators remained shrouded in secrecy. The monument consists of a series of large granite slabs, and it was commissioned by a man using the pseudonym R.C. Christian, who approached the Elberton Granite Finishing Company to have the structure built. Christian allegedly represented a small group of loyal Americans who shared a vision for guiding humanity toward a more sustainable and harmonious future. The stones were designed by an anonymous group of individuals who referred to themselves as the individuals behind the Guidestones. The project was overseen by a man named Joe Fendley, who ran the Elberton Granite Finishing Company and worked with the stonecutter Granite City. The group also worked closely with Patterson Stone Company. The Guidestones were constructed with a total of 6 massive slabs, with 1 central stone and 4 arranged around it in a star-like formation, all set atop a large rectangular slab that served as the monument's base. The structure was designed to be a kind of celestial calendar, with specific astronomical features incorporated into its design. Each of the stones measures approximately 16 feet, 4.9 meters tall, and the entire monument weighs an estimated 240 tons. The stones were made from locally sourced granite, and their rugged and imposing nature gave them a sense of permanence and gravitas. While the monument's purpose seemed to be an expression of philosophical ideals, it also served as a reminder of human fragility, calling attention to the potential for collapse or catastrophe and the need for a new set of guiding principles, the inscribed messages. The most striking feature of the Georgia Guidestones is the 10 guidelines inscribed on the stone in 8 modern languages: English, Spanish, Swahili, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic, Chinese, and Russian. The inscriptions are etched into the stone slabs, each of which bears a set of instructions or commandments that offer guidance for humanity. These guidelines are both philosophical and practical in nature, addressing everything from population control to social behavior and environmental stewardship. The 10 Guidestones. 1. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. 2. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. 3. Unite humanity with a living new language. 4. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. 5. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. 6. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. 7. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. 8. Balance personal rights with social duties. 9. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. 10. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. The first guideline, which advocates for maintaining humanity under a population of 500 million, is perhaps the most controversial. This directive has been interpreted in various ways. Some view it as a call for eugenics or population control, while others argue that it is a reflection of environmental sustainability, urging the human population to live in balance with the earth. However, the ambiguity of the wording has led to widespread speculation, with some conspiracy theorists suggesting that it hints at apocalyptic or dystopian scenarios. The third guideline, which calls for the unification of humanity through a living new language, has sparked further debate. It may refer to the idea of a universal language to promote global cooperation, or it could reflect a utopian vision of cultural homogenization. Similarly, the guidelines that emphasize balance between personal rights and social duties, as well as the establishment of a global world court to resolve disputes, have led to differing interpretations regarding the ideal structure of global governance. The 10th guideline, which urges humanity to leave room for nature, reflects a more ecological and conservationist perspective. It emphasizes the need to protect the planet's resources and ecosystems, suggesting that human civilization should not overrun the natural world. Astronomical and geometric features. In addition to the inscriptions, the Georgia Guidestones also featured several astronomical alignments and geometric features. The monument was meticulously designed to align with celestial events, such as the solstices and equinoxes. One of the most intriguing elements was the center stone, which contained a hole through its center, allowing sunlight to shine through at specific times of the year. This feature, combined with the alignment of the stones, suggested a sophisticated understanding of astronomy. One stone had a time capsule buried beneath it, although the contents of the capsule have never been officially revealed. The time capsule was said to be intended as a message for future generations, with the hope that humanity would eventually rediscover the monument and learn from its lessons. The time capsule's existence, however, remains part of the mystery surrounding the Guidestones. Theories and controversies. Since its creation, the Georgia Guidestones have been a subject of intense speculation and controversy. The cryptic nature of the inscriptions, the anonymous identity of the person who commissioned the monument, and the unusually specific guidelines led many to wonder about the true intent behind the stones. The Illuminati and New World Order. One of the most pervasive theories surrounding the Georgia Guidestones is that they were created by a secretive group, such as the Illuminati or proponents of a New World Order. Conspiracy theorists claim that the guidelines, particularly the first one that advocates for a drastically reduced population, reflect a nefarious plan for global control and the elimination of a large portion of humanity. The call for a world court, the establishment of a unified language, and the promotion of tempered reason over passion and tradition further fueled these suspicions, as they could be interpreted as signs of a coordinated effort to establish a global government. Eugenics and population control. The first guideline, which advocates for a reduced global population, has been a particularly controversial point. Some critics argue that the Guidestones promote eugenics, the idea of controlling the genetic quality of the human population through selective breeding or sterilization. Others interpret the guideline as a more positive call for environmental sustainability, suggesting that such a low population might be necessary to preserve Earth's resources. Regardless of interpretation, the first guideline has provoked fear and mistrust among many who see it as a sign of elitism or a desire for mass depopulation, environmentalism, and utopian ideals. On the other hand, some scholars and environmentalists view the Georgia Guidestones in a more positive light, seeing them as an expression of utopian ideals for a sustainable future. The emphasis on balance with nature, global cooperation, and the preservation of truth, beauty, and love resonates with contemporary ideals of ecological stewardship and global harmony. The stones may be viewed as a symbolic reminder that humanity must tread lightly on the earth and live in harmony with nature. Religious and apocalyptic interpretations. The religious significance of the Guidestones is another area that has attracted attention. Some believe that the monument's placement and the inscriptions reflect a prophetic vision or a warning for humanity. The ambiguity surrounding the Guidestone's purpose, combined with the mysterious identity of its creator, has led to the belief that the monument may be a form of coded message from an advanced civilization or a secretive order with divine knowledge. Some even suggested that the Guidestones were a warning of the apocalypse or a blueprint for the world after a major cataclysm. Destruction and legacy. In July 2022, the Georgia Guidestones were severely damaged in an act of vandalism. An explosion destroyed one of the slabs, and the structure was subsequently demolished by the local authorities due to safety concerns. The destruction of the monument was a tragic event for those who appreciated its mysterious allure, but it also raised questions about the intentions behind the attack. Whether the destruction was a protest against the Guidestones' controversial guidelines, a symbolic act of resistance against the New World Order, or simply a random act of vandalism remains unclear. The Georgia Guidestones, while physically destroyed, continue to hold a significant place in the cultural imagination. Their legacy as an object of fascination, curiosity, and debate remains intact. For some, the Guidestones represent a warning or an idealistic vision of a future world. For others, they remain a symbol of secrecy, conspiracy, and hidden knowledge. The true purpose of the monument may never be fully understood, but the questions it raised about humanity's future continue to resonate. Conclusion. The Georgia Guidestones, with their strange inscriptions, mysterious origins, and controversial messages, remain one of the most enigmatic monuments in modern history. Whether viewed as a utopian vision for a harmonious future, a nefarious blueprint for global control, or simply an intriguing artifact of human ambition, the Guidestones have left an indelible mark on the world's collective consciousness. Their destruction in 2022 only adds to their mythos, ensuring that they will continue to captivate the imaginations of future generations. The destruction of the Georgia Guidestones in July 2022 remains a topic of speculation, with various theories surrounding the reasons behind the attack. What is clear is that the monument was severely damaged by an explosion on the night of July 6, 2022, and later demolished by authorities due to safety concerns. While the exact motives of those responsible for the destruction have not been confirmed, there are several key factors and theories that help explain why the monument was targeted. 1. Controversial and cryptic nature of the Guidestones. The most obvious reason for the destruction is the controversial nature of the Guidestones themselves. From the moment they were erected in 1980, the Guidestones attracted attention due to their cryptic inscriptions, which offered 10 guidelines for humanity. The first guideline in particular called for the reduction of the global population to under 500 million people, a statement that many interpreted as advocating for population control or even eugenics. While some saw these inscriptions as visionary or thought-provoking, others viewed them as dangerous or even threatening to their values. The idea of population reduction and the ambiguous references to global governance, a world court, and a unified language fueled conspiracy theories about the Illuminati, a new world order, and elite global control. These fears were amplified by the vague language of the guidelines, leaving room for many interpretations that were deeply unsettling to some people. The explosion that caused the damage to the Guidestones in July 2022 was seen by many as an act of vandalism, protest, or political statement aimed at destroying a symbol of what some considered a sinister agenda. The monument's connection to globalism, eugenics, and environmentalism may have been perceived by some as an embodiment of values they opposed, which likely contributed to the decision to target it. 2. Conspiracy theories and cultural backlash. Over the years, the Georgia Guidestones became the focal point for numerous conspiracy theories. Some theorists suggested that the monument was constructed by a shadowy group, like the Illuminati or other secret societies, to push for a new world order. The inscriptions, especially the call for population control, were interpreted by some as a hidden manifesto for mass depopulation, or even as a blueprint for a future totalitarian government. For those who adhered to these conspiracy theories, the Guidestones became a symbol of the globalist agenda and were associated with a wide array of unfounded fears about global governance, elite manipulation, and loss of national sovereignty. This worldview led some to view the destruction of the stones as a righteous act of rebellion, a statement against the supposed dark forces behind the monument. The Georgia Guidestones also became linked to other more apocalyptic and anti-government ideologies. The idea of a centralized world court and the promotion of a living new language for humanity were interpreted as signs of an overarching global control structure. This viewpoint made the monument particularly hated by certain factions within the anti-government and far-right communities, who view global cooperation or population control as a direct threat to individual freedoms and sovereignty. 3. Religious and ideological opposition. The religious undertones of the Georgia Guidestones also contributed to the animosity toward them. The Guidestones' emphasis on rational thought, tempered reason, and unity across nations was at odds with more fundamentalist religious beliefs and conservative ideologies. The New World Order conspiracies were often paired with apocalyptic predictions, and for some, the Guidestones came to represent a godless, secular vision of the future that clashed with their faith-based views of the world. In particular, the first guideline, which calls for a drastic reduction in population, raised concerns among some Christian groups, who believed it symbolized a dystopian vision of the future, possibly even signaling the coming of the Antichrist or a globalist agenda to destroy humanity. Christian conspiracy theorists have linked the stones to the Book of Revelation, viewing them as a prophetic warning of an eventual collapse of society. The religious opposition to the Guidestones grew, and for some groups, the monument became a target due to its perceived symbolic affront to their beliefs. The destruction of the monument could be seen as an act of righteous defiance against what they viewed as an affront to both their faith and the values they held dear. 4. the mysterious time capsule. The time capsule buried beneath one of the stones also played a role in fueling the monument's mystique. Many conspiracy theorists speculated that it contained secret knowledge or even plans for a new world order. Though the contents of the time capsule were never officially revealed, its existence added to the sense of mystery surrounding the Guidestones and made them a target for those who believed the monument contained hidden agendas. Because the time capsule was believed to be a form of communication with future generations, its mysterious nature made the monument even more controversial. The idea that the Guidestones could represent a hidden plot or a message from an elite group seeking to shape the future of humanity only added fuel to the fire. 5. Vandalism or political protest. Another possible explanation for the destruction of the Georgia Guidestones is that it was simply an act of vandalism, carried out by individuals who disagreed with the monument's message or simply sought to make a statement. Given the notoriety of the Guidestones and the years of attention they had received, it was likely that they had become an easy target for protesters. The timing of the attack also suggests that it may have been linked to broader political or social movements. At the time of the explosion, the United States was deeply polarized politically, with increasing tensions over issues such as climate change, globalism, immigration, and government control. The Guidestones, as a symbol of global cooperation and sustainability, may have been seen as a representative of values that certain political groups wanted to reject or dismantle. The act of destruction itself, the explosion, was a high-profile method of protest, signaling a desire for public attention. Some speculated that it was an attempt to disrupt the status quo or to challenge the established order, while others believed it was a symbolic gesture of rebellion against elite agendas or global influence. 6. Local community reactions. There were also those within the local Elberton community who had mixed feelings about the monument. While it attracted tourists and generated revenue for the area, some residents and community members were uncomfortable with the mystery surrounding the Guidestones and the foreignness of the ideals inscribed on them. In 2014, a local church group even filed a petition to have the Guidestones removed, claiming that their messages conflicted with Christian values. In the aftermath of the explosion, some expressed regret that the monument had been destroyed, while others felt that the Guidestones represented a threat to their way of life. The varied local opinions likely played a role in the overall climate of hostility toward the structure. 7. Police investigation and ongoing mystery. After the explosion, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, GBI, launched an investigation into the incident. Authorities were able to confirm that an explosive device was used to destroy the monument, but they were unable to immediately identify the perpetrator or group responsible. To this day, the investigation remains open, and no arrests have been made in connection to the bombing. The destruction of the Georgia Guidestones has, for now, ended the mystery of the monument's physical existence, but the symbolism behind the act remains. Whether it was a political protest, religious condemnation, or the work of a conspiracy-driven individual or group, the destruction of the Guidestones has only deepened the intrigue and mystery surrounding them. Conclusion. While we may never fully know the exact reasons behind the destruction of the Georgia Guidestones, the act of vandalism clearly reflects deep-seated cultural, ideological, and political divisions within society. Whether motivated by concerns about globalism, population control, or religious opposition, the destruction of the Guidestones serves as a symbol of how controversial ideas and monuments can be deeply polarizing, especially when they challenge long-held beliefs or represent visions of the future that some find unsettling.